Hello everybody, welcome to another video lesson. Today we're going to be working with our calculators to find inverses and determinants. Okay, we're going to be looking at just one example of a 3x3 matrix, and hopefully that is enough for us to kind of get the concept of working with our calculators. Okay, so our one example, we are given a system of linear equations like this, and if we're asked to find our solution, okay, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and rewrite this in a way that's a little bit easier to read, especially if I'm going to be plugging it into my calculator. Okay, so I'm just rearranging this. I just took this negative for z and I moved that to the left-hand side. And then I went ahead and just said, okay, I have 0z on the left-hand side for my third equation, and I moved this one constant to this side, making it a -1. Okay, just doing that so I don't get confused when I'm inputting things into my calculator. Okay, so if we go ahead and make a matrix equation out of this, it's going to look something like this, right? I've got my coefficients, I've got my variables, and I've got my constants. Okay, so this is going to be let's see, ax is equal to b. Okay, it's kind of what we have been seeing this as. All right, ax equals b. So I know that if I find the determinant of my coefficient matrix, of my matrix A, okay, I know if that determinant is not equal to 0, then A inverse exists. Okay, and it looks like this a to the -1, kind of how we've been seeing it. All right, but that's A inverse. A inverse exists. Okay, and I know if A inverse exists, then I can kind of solve for this. I can solve for this system of equations here by saying x is equal to inverse of A times B. Okay, again, B being our constants, matrix here of 12, 15, and -1. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to input this into our calculator. We're going to find our determinant, and then we're going to multiply. We're going to see if it has an inverse, and if it does, then we're going to multiply that by b, and we should have our solutions, okay, for our variables. Okay, so looking at our calculator now, okay, if I'm going to input a matrix, okay, the first thing I should do, let's see, I'm going to go second matrix, okay, second matrix, and we can see I already have one created here. And it says 3x3. If I want to just choose this for something, then all I would do is hit enter, and then now this would have matrix A selected for whatever operation I want to do for it. All right, but first let's go ahead and hit again second matrix. I'm going to go over and edit this one, and if I want to choose a different one to edit, I just scroll up or down with my arrow buttons. So let's go ahead and take a look at, we'll go ahead and start a new one. So I'm going to start a new one with B. Okay, it's named B. Okay, when I do that, it gives me an automatic 1x1 matrix though. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say 3, enter, 3, enter. Okay, and that gives me a 3x3 matrix, all right? So now we're going to go ahead and just input our coefficient matrix that we had from our system. And that system, just taking the coefficient matrix, we have -1, so I just hit -1 and then enter. Okay, and then I've highlighted my first row, second column now. So whichever one's highlighted is the one that we are editing. Okay, so -2, enter. Okay, 4, enter. 3, enter. -6, enter. 1, enter. 2, 5. And 0. Okay. Okay, so now I have this matrix here. Now, if I wanted to change the dimensions of this, I could just scroll up, and then instead of 3, I could click 4, and you see it creates a 3x4 now. Okay, and then if I hit enter, it would go ahead and create a fourth column here. Okay, and we see it just gives me all zeros. Okay, but we don't want that, so we're going to go ahead and change it back to 3. And it'll get rid of that column there. Okay, so I'm back to a 3x3 matrix, and this is called matrix B, all right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go second matrix again. Okay, and I'm going to say, let's take a look at C now. Okay, matrix C. This is going to be my, what did I do here? I'll clear that. quit now. Matrix, okay, matrix C, I'm going to edit this one. I don't think I had it over on edit. Okay, so I'm going to edit matrix C. Okay, this is going to be a 3 by 1. Okay, this is going to be a 3 by 1 because this is my constants. Okay, this is what we're calling, if we're saying AX equals B, this is our B, right? We just have a different name now of C. Okay, and for that one, we had 12, we had 15, and we had -1. Okay. Okay, good. So then we'll go ahead and second quit, get out of there. And if I go back to my matrix, okay, and I go over to math, okay, this first option here, DET, that's for my determinant. Okay, so I can click enter and it brings me back to this home page, but now I've got determinant ready to go. So I'm just going to go second matrix again, scroll down to B because that's the matrix that I want. That's my coefficient matrix now for my system that I'm working on. And if I hit enter when it says names, then again, that's going to just, it's going to bring that up in my home screen to work with. Okay, so if I go ahead and hit enter, then I get a determinant of 109. Okay, 109 is not equal to 0, so that's great. We can go ahead and take the inverse of our matrix. Okay, again, we're working with B. So to take the inverse, you just go and say, okay, this is raised to the -1 power for my matrix. That's going to give us our inverse. And when I hit enter, it gives us this whole jumble right here, okay? So what should we do with this? Well, let's go ahead and our solution should be the inverse times our constants matrix, right? So if I were to say second matrix, go down to B again, hit enter, raise that to the -1st power, okay? And then say times second matrix, go down to C now because C is my coefficient, or sorry, C is my constants matrix. Okay, if I hit enter, it should give me my solution here. Okay, so now keeping in mind that this is my X, Y, and Z here, this would be my solution for that system. Okay, having a look at just taking a screen grab of what we had there. Okay, again, this is our solution. This is my X, this is my Y, and this is my Z, okay, for my solution here. So we can rewrite our solution like we normally would. Again, X, Y, and Z, okay? How we would normally write our solutions. Okay, so that's how you use your calculator to find the determinant and the inverse, and then eventually even solve a system of linear equations. So hopefully you can use that if you're given a 3 by 3 or larger matrix to work with. All right, good luck with your practice.